Update. Am I the a-hole for passing out during a family gathering meant to introduce our new baby? Original post. So recently I, 27 female, had a beautiful baby girl with my husband, 29 male. She is my pride and joy. I love her more than I love myself. But taking care of her has taken its toll on me. My husband promised the work would be 50-50 when we agreed we wanted children. But I don't feel that's being reflected by his actions this past month. It's gotten to the point where I can't even ask him to wash her up without him saying something along the lines of, "My paternity leave is short. I want to make the most of it by relaxing a bit. I'll help you out later." And I get it. His paternity leave is only 6 weeks while mine is 16 weeks. But my nether regions hurt for a better part of 2 weeks after the birth, and all he could do for me was occasionally burp her. Now, my baby girl has gotten to a phase where she doesn't want to sleep. She'll sleep for an hour, but then she's up and back to crying, and I have to get up and try to soothe her. It's been happening for a week now, and I've gotten so little sleep that I'm nodding off while eating or doing the laundry and stuff. Saturday was the month anniversary of my daughter's birth, so I decided to gather both sides of the family to meet her. They hadn't met her prior because A, I wanted to rest as much as I could, and B, I heard somewhere that you shouldn't be taking babies out and about when they're fresh out the womb, because they're more prone to illness then. So we had this gathering at my mother's house and all is well. Everyone was cooing over our baby. There was food, people were catching up or meeting for the first time. It was nice. But I had gotten about 3 hours of sleep, generous estimate, in total the past week, and I was starting to feel the effects of it. I was feeling lightheaded and clammy, but I didn't want to make a scene, so I tried to go to a bedroom to lie down. I didn't take 10 steps before my vision completely blacked out. I wasn't down for long, but I had fallen over, which drew some attention. I explained to everyone who was concerned that I was fine and that I was just not getting enough sleep, and I could see my husband visibly frown at that. They gave me some of the dessert my aunt made to get my sugar up, and the party continued. I felt embarrassed about the whole thing, especially since everyone was still looking over me until we left. But it's whatever. What bothers me is my husband's reaction. When we got home, he started going off on me about how I made him look bad and like he wasn't taking care of me. I was confused on how the heck me passing out made him look bad, but he refused to explain himself and had a pity party for himself in the kitchen. I was still feeling bad, so I decided to leave him alone and just go to sleep. But he seems to have taken that as a sign that I don't care about his feelings. He's in my ear this morning about how I just ignored him to go to sleep last night and how I didn't even put the baby to sleep before leaving. Is he right? Am I the a-hole here? Now for the top comments before reading the update. Not the a-hole, and I can't call your husband the names I want to because my comment will be deleted. Paternity leave isn't a time to relax. It's a time you're helping raise the baby and spending time together as a family. Clearly, he is not doing either of these things as A, you'd be better rested, and B, he'd have noticed you're exhausted. Your passing out made him look bad because it was clear to everyone that you're being left to raising your baby alone. It's clearly not a partnership, and the a-hole you're married to is turning it into you to shift responsibility and blame. You need to seriously reconsider the relationship's future and brings this up with him, as it all comes down to him and his behavior. If he gets his act together, then things will be much better. But if he doesn't, you and your daughter deserve so much better. He doesn't know what paternity leave is and doesn't really want to take care of his family. Sadly, you can't seem to shake that loser. This deadbeat of a father and husband is using his 6 weeks to laze around, instead of using it to take care of his wife and child. OP, you said you love your baby more than yourself. Would you want to let her grow up and think that it's normal for wives to push themselves while they're sleepless and in pain until they faint? And husbands to berate them instead of worrying and taking care of them? Tell your parents that your husband doesn't help you at all and blamed you for making him look bad. You know what else makes him look bad? Being a deadbeat father and partner. The whole point of paternity leave is for him to help out, not relax. He makes you work extra hard in taking care of the baby. Then when you pass out, he sees himself as a victim who looks bad in front of his family? Your fainting is proof that he's not pulling his weight. If you trust his parents, show them this post and get their backup in giving him the wake-up call he deserves. His parents are genuinely nice people, so that may work. I'm starting to worry about my health at this point, and he's refusing to listen to me. Mini update. So I've tried talking with him, but he's been ignoring me and the baby the last 3 hours. I'd usually wait longer, but I'm just too tired to deal with this right now. You guys were right. I do need help with this. And he's made it very clear he's not ready to help me yet. So I'm just going to go to my mom's place. I'm currently packing. I'm so done. Now for the full update. Hi all, your comments were really helpful, so thank you. Yesterday, before I could Uber to my mom's house, my sister offered to help me, so I'm staying with her instead. She's taking personal time off to help me out with my girl, which I'm very grateful for. She also gave me sleep medicine that knocked me out for hours. I'm not sure if that was a good idea or not, but I slept long and well, so I don't care. I woke up a few hours ago to tons of messages from my husband. Like the little app icon had 99 plus on it. Here are some things he said, copy-pasted. You can't just up and freaking leave with my baby. Come back now, please. Let's talk about it. You're actually so freaking immature. What the heck is wrong with you? We have one argument and you freaking pretend like I've been beating you. Why the heck did you leave? We can work this out like adults, yet you're choosing to be difficult like a little bee. Please just come back. We will talk and sort this out and we can go back to being happy, so come back. I miss my baby girl. You can't just take her away. What if I called the police for kidnapping? Would that teach you what you're doing is wrong? I would screenshot, but it says this community doesn't allow attachments, so I can't. And I know it's a bit weird to tell y'all what he's been texting me, but I'm mad right now and this feels therapeutic. Lol. I already sent the screenshots to his mom though. As for my baby, I have an appointment to a pediatrician for Wednesday, but for now, she's in formula since my breast milk quality isn't the best for understandable reasons. My sister said she wasn't as fuzzy as I described, so I really think the problem is with my milk. That, or my sister wanted to make me feel better for sleeping. Who knows? I'll wait for the doctor's opinion. I'm not feeling 100%, but I feel a whole lot more better than before. Thank you to everyone who showed concern. I think this will be the last update since I want to not think too much about my husband right now. I am so glad you left and got some help and rest. You definitely need and deserve it. I still can't get over your husband's mental gymnastics here. He hasn't been a parent, hasn't helped you at all, and hasn't really spent any time caring for his daughter, and only cares about what other people besides you think. But misses his baby girl and wants you to come back so we can go back to being happy? Sounds like the only person who was happy was him. He got a 6-week vacation and didn't have to lift a finger. Let me guess, you were doing all the cooking and cleaning on top of caring for the baby? From what he is texting you, he thinks he did nothing wrong. He is being deliberately obtuse. To add insult to injury, he calls you a bee and threatens you with the cops. Lovely. He is a real peach. I really want to know what his mom has to say. Does she know he was mad at you for passing out? Because it isn't about love, it is about control and image. Please keep strong. You have done a fabulous job doing what you need to for you and baby. Best wishes. Damn, this dude is crazy. Hopefully next update it'll be ex-husband. What he said was too crazy, not even caring at all. Even though his wife had fainted, he kept swearing and talking about solving the problem. When you really go back, it will probably be another scolding and insulting. Your sister is helping you take care of your child now, so you can sleep peacefully and take care of your body first. That man is not worth it. When you decide you've had enough, take a screenshot of his text so you can show it to everyone who will be asking you whether or not to terminate things permanently. You are already a married single mother. Get free of your violent husband's dead weight. Next story. Am I the a-hole for ignoring my pregnant wife when she gave me the silent treatment over ice cream? Wife 32 female is pregnant and has her emotional and physical struggles. At a scoop of annoyance and silliness too. Frankly, I'm too tired sometimes, and I need to know if I did anything wrong here. I 35 male, I'm a professional, and right now very busy. Wife has her fair share of mood swings and hormonal cravings, and we try to get by, most of the time, except when she expects me to read her mind. It's a constant point of our discussions initiated by her, because she feels I don't do stuff for her unless asked, which I disagree with. I bring her flowers, I will plan our dates, and I will give her a massage out of the blue when I'm feeling like I want to show my love for her. On the other hand, she expects me to have the clairvoyance to know she's craving a box of donuts when she calls me to work saying, I wish I had something sweet to eat, all the cookies are finished. Or I want to fix a chicken sandwich right now but there's no patties left. You see where I'm at? She feels that this is her way of communicating things with me, and if I really loved her and knew her, I'd understand. I disagree with her and tell her she needs to be direct with me if she wants me to bring home something for her. This is followed by her disappointed look and heavy sighs. Recently, something similar happened and she got angry at me as to why I didn't offer to drive her to get some ice cream for her after dinner. This time, I didn't sit and listen to her blame me and told her if she's going to act like a child, maybe she's not equipped to be a mom yet. This must have cut deep, but I am honestly exhausted by her behavior, and I really don't want to put so much unnecessary pressure on myself. I want a partner. Pretty sure babies can't communicate with adults, and it's up to me as a dad to understand if they're crying because they are hungry or sick or uncomfortable. I don't want my partner who expects the same as a baby. Maybe the reason I don't prioritize what she says she wants is because honestly during the workday I have a lot in my mind. So anyone just venting to me or a simple text isn't something I retain in my memory for long. So after what I said, my wife just been giving me the silent treatment. And I'm not going to grovel when I know I've done nothing wrong. I simply ignored it. And it has been 3 days now and I've gone on about my day like nothing happened. Clearly, the lack of attention and concern for our negligible communication has an effect on her, and she's been demanding an explanation from me if I even care about our relationship. I told her that I'm not bothered if she's upset right now over something that shouldn't even be an issue, and I don't care about her validation anymore. She teared up, looked at me with shock, and went back to our room. Did I go too far? Now for the top comments. I think you guys need to focus on your communication, not who's right or wrong. You have different communication styles and that's okay, but you need to find a way that works for both of you. Your wife thinks she's being clear and you think she's not. That makes both of you angry. You need to address that without blame when she's calm and relaxed. The ideal is if you listen to each other without judging. Yeah, this is a mess, and it's not going to get easier once a screaming newborn is added in. If these guys want their marriage to survive, they need to get better at communicating. I think you both need couples therapy and learn how to communicate with each other. I agree, you're not a mind reader. Some people, mostly women I hate to say, are taught to not ask/state/demand what they want. That it's seen as not ladylike and downright rude. There seems to be a misunderstanding between you two on communicating your wants and needs. She is telling him what she needs without making demands, and he calls it mind reading. I had no problem understanding her. What's more alarming here is the aura of superiority and disdain beaming from OP's attitude towards his wife. She's the emotional one, she's the one with the communication issues and unfair demands, while he paints himself as level-headed and doing things for her, like planning dates as if that's not a mutual task of mutual benefit. Everyone sucks here at best. Last story. Am I the a-hole for not informing my wife I surrendered my portion of inheritance left by my mom? Long story short, my mother has been battling dementia for around 12 years, and around 4 years ago, she needed more care than what myself and my siblings could reasonably provide. My parents were not exactly wealthy, but they did work hard their entire lives and they always had a goal to leave a legacy behind. My siblings wanted to split the cost of placement. At the time, I was not in the place to help fund her care without great sacrifice. So I told my siblings to take my portion of the estate to cover the cost, which includes the money my parents earmarked for each grandchild. I knew it was not going to be enough, but it was the least I could do. I did not tell my wife, because I did run a plan for my siblings by her. She also agreed we could not afford to take on the amount they wanted, which was around $3,000 a month. My mother passed away February of last year. Took this long to settle her estate, and my wife was upset when we did not get a portion of the estate. So I told my siblings to use my portion to cover my side of the expenses. She was livid. I did my best to explain that she agreed we could not afford to pay $3,000 a month, and we lived too far away to provide personal assistance, so I came up with a compromise. She felt it was not my place, since that money was also intended for our kid. I told her I see where she is coming from, but I was not going to take money away from my parents or siblings if I was not helping in some shape or form. Was I the a-hole here? Wait, your parents had money, but because it was planned for inheritance, you and your siblings were covering the cost of care instead of your mother, or whoever was managing her finances, just paying for it? Nah, the plan was for all of us to get together to pay for their care. I am the youngest and was not as established as my siblings. I could not afford to contribute. They could, but since I could not afford it, I gave up my portion of my inheritance. How much would your portion of the estate have been? How many months would you have had to pay $3,000? It was wrong of you to not tell your wife how this was going to go, but was a good compromise to do your part of your parents' care. No a-holes here. You wanted to do the right thing for your parents, but screwed up by not including your wife in the discussion. Your wife didn't appreciate it, feeling this was somehow done behind her back. We just would have split it evenly among us. It was sizable, around $200K, and she lived for around 4 years in her care facility. So largely a drop in the bucket. My $3K was also in the lower end because they knew I was not established. That is a fair take. My logic was I did tell my wife about the plan. She agreed we could not afford it. So what exactly would have changed if I told her I was giving up my inheritance? She already agreed we could not afford it. Until your mother died, it was her money, even if it was earmarked for your inheritance. Your mom apologizing for spending your inheritance makes her a good person. You saying you'd rather have her than her money makes you a good person. I see the apple does not fall far from the tree. Edit to clarify. I did not provide my whole life story since I did not think it was needed. I do agree I should have told her. I do not know why I did not tell her, and I am going to apologize for not telling her. As for why my siblings did not use her money, as far as I know, it was for tax reasons. Her assets were not liquid. I know the subject came up when it came time to pay for college because our mom got officially diagnosed when I was 14. She had early onset dementia. They were talking about selling some assets to cover my college costs. I told them it was not needed since I got a scholarship and worked to cover my living expenses. Our mother was cash poor. For as long as I can recall, my oldest sibling covered the majority of the household costs. I never really gave how much money my mother had much thought. I was also oblivious to the hell my siblings went through, shielding me from reality. That being said, the reason they did it the way they did was for tax reasons, and it was just easier that way. I do not know the details, and to be honest, I don't even care. I wish I could give them more because they gave me so much. I know it was painful for our mom to refer to them as strangers, but always lit up when she saw me. Yet she was at a lovely place she was because of them. I simply existed. End of the day, I do owe my wife an apology and I will do so. As for the money, that is the least I could do for all they have done for me. I can never repay them for all they did for me.